Hey besties, it's your girl Yana and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about grieving relationships. Um, and the reason why I decided that I want to speak about this today is because I've come to realize that I am myself grieving a relationship. Um, it's not an easy thing to talk about, but it's a necessary thing to talk about. A lot of times we grieve relationships and we just don't even know. It could be a relationship with a partner or a spouse, and it can also be a relationship with a friend. And it's important to know the signs so that you can process and deal with it accordingly. I'm just going to kind of take you through a couple of key points and a couple of things that I'm going through, and then just put down in the comments if you feel that you have ever grieved a relationship, or if you yourself is grieving a relationship, and maybe we can have conversation. Okay. The first thing that I'll say is accepting your feelings, accepting how you are feeling at the moment. It's easy to try to brush over it, but I think that it's very important that you be able to point it out and be able to sit in those feelings. Whether you're angry, you're sad, you're feeling anxious, all of those feelings are natural, and I think that it's important that you realize that that's what you're feeling at the moment. That way that you can, kind of get past it. I realize a lot of times that I am sad. And I also realize that I'm just like blah. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like having relationships, dealing with different men, or even talking to a man. I'm at a point to where I might turn up my nose. So that's very important. Speaking of me feeling like I don't want to speak to anybody, talk to anybody, that can be a lesson of taking a break, right? So being able to take a break from maybe dating, meeting people, just giving yourself time to go through those emotions and figure out what it is that you truly want or don't want, the lessons learned and things like that. So, it's okay to give yourself a break. And that's where I am in my life. I am giving myself a good break, just to figure out what it is I really want, because at this moment I really don't want to be bothered. Spending time with your friends, kind of getting out and kind of sometimes distracting yourself from how you're feeling at the moment. I wasn't getting out. I was in the house because I had other things going on, but I wasn't hanging out or anything. I would be either in my room or here on the sofa, just kind of like wallowing in my emotions and my pain and how I'm feeling. I just didn't want to do anything. So it's very important that you kind of get out a little bit, get some fresh air, talk to some friends, hang out with some friends, and even family, and just kind of get your mind off of certain things and just kind of put yourself back in a happy space. Understanding what happened. A lot of times we don't want to think, right? We don't want to think about what happened in the relationship. But I think it's very important that you do kind of think about the relationship and what could have possibly happened. Not saying that that situation was your fault, but just kind of try to like weed out things that you probably just didn't pay attention to that you should have paid attention to, maybe like red flags. And realize that you did ignore those red flags. Even with me, when I was in the relationship that I was in, I saw a couple of things, but they were things that I chose to ignore because I didn't think that they were that important or that serious at the moment, because I was just now starting in the relationship with this person. So I didn't feel that that was like super important. But now that I look back at it, those things were very much important. Realizing the choices that you've made that could have affected the relationship or even made things go a certain way. I'll give you some examples of my relationship. I think not speaking up and allowing this person to do whatever, and I just kind of just like sat back and chilled because I didn't want any conflicts. Um, I didn't want the relationship to go sour, I guess. I kept a lot of feelings inside, even when I felt the way. Sometimes I would say certain things I would, and then certain things I wouldn't say anything. I just let it. It is what it is, and that's the wrong attitude to have if you indeed care about that person or care about that relationship. It's not okay to It's not okay to kind of like be passive. And I was kind of passive in that relationship. In many relationships, I was never passive. I've always spoke up on things that bothered me or that was not right or, could be better, or let's do this, let's do that. And in that relationship, I didn't do that. So that's another thing. Again, like I was saying at the beginning, some people have had a therapist. If you feel that you need to seek help, I can vouch and say that that is a wonderful idea. I've seen a therapist before. I think it's very important to seek help. Me, at this moment, I don't feel like I'm in that deep of a place to seek help. But I definitely advise, if you feel that you need to speak to someone or talk to someone, I think it's very important to do so. And don't let anybody make you feel like that is not a good idea or that you are wrong for feeling like you should go and speak to someone. Okay? Okay. There is different stages of grief. You'll have denial, anger, depression, and then acceptance. I was in denial for a minute. I kept saying, "Oh no," because I was definitely in denial. Like the river. I was in denial. Um, and I kept kind of trying to go back to that person because I didn't want to know or believe that that situation was over with, that that person did not care about me, that his priorities did not include me. He liked the idea of me, how pretty I was, the idea of me, but he did not consider me. Well, going through the process, you have to be able to pinpoint those things so that you can move forward. And I'm just getting to the point tonight, for me to be able to pinpoint those things and realize what is actually going on and what it is that I need to do next. It's a tough process. Another thing that I've learned is avoiding unhealthy coping mechanisms like drugs, alcohol, or should I say UGS, alcohol. Throughout this process, I kind of stopped really drinking that much. Like, I would have wine, a little champagne, but I wouldn't cope with alcohol because I felt that if I did, I felt like my situation or how I was feeling internally would possibly be worse, and I would automatically go back and kind of call this person or text this person, and then the cycle is gonna just repeat itself. And I know this because it's happened before. It's very easy to get caught up in your emotions, and sometimes you're gonna go through that whole thing where you're gonna lie to yourself. You're gonna lie to yourself and tell yourself, "Oh, it's not that bad. It wasn't that bad." And no, he do care about me, or she do care about me. And you're gonna start lying to yourself, right? It's very easy to pick up different mechanisms to help you cope. It's very easy to do those things. I don't think it's a great idea. Just for me. For me. Because it doesn't give me a clear head. If I do those things, if I drink and stuff like that, it's gonna be one thought after another. When I tell you I overthink, me and overthinking are best friends, okay? All I do is overthink, right? So I think it's important to kind of cut back a little bit. just kind of cut back. If you want to have a glass of wine, have a glass of wine. If you want to have a glass of champagne, a beer, whatever, do that. But I would say don't overindulge, because again, I don't think it's a good idea. I kind of just wanted to come out and talk to you guys about that because, like I said, I myself am in that space. I didn't know I was in that space. I just thought I was just a little sad sometimes. But I didn't think that I was grieving. And sad to say, I've been grieving this for a while, for months. Um, and somebody told me, let me tell you something. You grieve for a day. If you have to cry it out, cry your tear. More than 2 days is too much. Get yourself up and dust it off and go out and meet people and meet someone. And my friend even said, girl, you don't have no problem meeting people. All these guys, and it's like, I don't want to meet anybody. Like, when I went out the other night, I didn't want to meet anybody. I was having a great time with my girls. And I don't know, maybe people be feeling that I won't be bothered because my facial expressions is something else. But I say grieve as long as you feel like you should grieve. I don't think there's a time limit on grieving. I don't think you should put yourself on a time limit of grieving. I would say take your time. Know what it is that you will deal with and will not deal with in your next relationship or friendship. Have boundaries, and make people respect your boundaries at the end of the day. But I just wanted to come and have a little chat with you guys. If you are grieving a relationship or a friendship, know that it's okay to take your time. Know that it's okay to grieve. Know that it's okay to have feelings. It is okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to want to be by yourself sometimes. It's okay. Allow yourself those feelings. Allow yourself to sit in those feelings if that's what it takes. So, besties, I love you. And I'll see y'all in the next one.